Breaking news right now in the WRAL Live Center. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin over alleged Ukraine war crimes. The court said that Putin is allegedly responsible for the war crime of unlawful deportation of children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. It also issued a warrant for the arrest for the Commissioner for the Children's Rights in the office of the President of the Russian Federation. But it's important to note that a possible trial of any Russians is a long way off, and that's because Moscow does not extradite its nationals. Also worth noting here, a UN-backed inquiry cited Russian attacks against civilians in Ukraine, including systematic torture and possibly crimes against humanity.
Michelle, thanks. Chinese President Xi Jinping announced just after 3 this morning he will visit Russia on Monday. It's a big show of support for Russian President Vladimir Putin as he enters year 2 of his invasion of Ukraine. Xi was already expected to visit Russia, but the timing of the trip was unclear until now. Xi will talk with Ukraine's president after the trip. It will be their first conversation since the war began. Well, green may be the color of the day for St. Patrick's Day, but all the markets are in the red right now. Look at this. The Dow Jones down 370 points as investors are rattled about what's been happening with First Republic Bank, another bank that had been on the verge of collapse. NASDAQ is down 100 points. S&P 500 also down 40 points as there are lingering concerns about the bank sector in the U.S.
Now to hoops. NC State will play Creighton in a first-round matchup in the NCAA tournament later today. That game tips off at 4 this afternoon in Denver. The winner will advance to play the winner of the game between Baylor and UC Santa Barbara. NC State women also get their tournament started tonight playing Princeton. Today, electric car maker VinFast announced 3 top sales executives have left the company. This news comes days after the Vietnam-based manufacturer reported it would delay launching its EV factory in Chatham County. WRAL's Monica Casey live at Moncure, where that plant is supposed to be built with reaction. And you just spoke with the governor, Monica, within the last hour.
Yeah, Ken, that's right. The plant is being built just down the road from here. And in the last hour, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper commented on the news of these departures. He tells WRAL he is still confident in the plans for this project. According to Reuters, the executives who recently left were in marketing, service, and global sales. Just last week, VinFast announced a delay in the production of electric SUVs at this future Chatham County plant. The initial plan to have vehicles out in the summer of 2024 has been pushed back to 2025. Governor Cooper says he believes the project will be moving ahead.
Well, North Carolina jobs are increasing at a record pace. We have companies coming here and expanding here like never before. VinFast started with a very aggressive timetable, and there are a lot of pressures in the market right now. So they are full on to open up, just instead of toward the end of 2024, they're going to go into 2025. But we feel really strong about VinFast.
And once this factory is online, it's expected to produce 150,000 electric vehicles each year. The factory should have a staff of about 7,500. We've reached out to Chatham County commissioners for comment on this latest development and what it might mean for the project here in Chatham County, but we have not yet heard back. Ken?
We'll definitely keep making those calls. Monica Casey live in Moncure in Chatham County. Monica, thanks. We're getting a clearer picture of how the COVID-19 pandemic started. Just before midnight, a team of international virus experts announced the discovery of genetic data from a market in Wuhan, China. That data links the coronavirus with the raccoon dogs for sale there. This adds evidence to the case the pandemic might have been the result of an infected animal sold through the illegal wildlife trade. But the data is not conclusive, and there remains debate about whether the virus came from animals or was leaked from a lab.
Cleanup continues today in Kentucky after a freight train derailment. This happened about 60 miles south of Louisville yesterday. Authorities say a semi-truck got stuck on the tracks and the train derailed after braking to avoid hitting the truck. People who live nearby say this is not the first time this has happened.
This is the second derailment we've had here at this crossing in less than 6 months. So we were just surprised to see it happen again so soon.
State police say the train was carrying vehicles and there is no threat to the area. Cleanup will also continue this morning in Washington state after a train derailment there leaked thousands of gallons of diesel onto a reservation. It's still not cleared what caused the derailment. No injuries have been reported. The Ecology and the Marine Spill Response Corporation is handling the response.
2 elementary schools in Alabama now have bulletproof safe rooms that can be set up in a matter of seconds. When they're not being used, the system is just a floor-to-ceiling whiteboard. Pull the handle, and in 10 seconds, you have a safe room that locks from the inside. The area provides shelter from an active shooter, and in the event of severe weather, the creator designed it after the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. These safe rooms are the first in the nation. Protests growing in Paris, France, after the country's president pushed through a plan to raise the retirement age. People took to the streets after Emmanuel Macron used a special power to raise the age from 62 to 64. The change is very unpopular and could trigger a vote of no confidence in Macron's government as soon as next week. That would mean Macron will have to replace his top leadership. He justified raising the age, saying it's the only way to keep France's pension system from running a deficit. Slovakia is joining Poland in gifting fighter jets to Ukraine. Slovakia will offer its fleet of Soviet-era jets, while Poland is offering between 11 and 19 of them. Ukraine's military says those will be key to fighting off Russian attacks. They're the first 2 NATO countries to offer jets to Ukraine. Poland was also the first NATO nation to send Leopard tanks there as well.
North Korea fired an intercontinental ballistic missile to strike fear into its enemies. That's according to leader Kim Jong-un. The launch comes as South Korea and Japan agreed at a summit to work closely on regional security with the United States. The missile flew for more than an hour and traveled more than 600 miles. Crews in Turkey are working to recover bodies after flooding caused by torrential rain. Authorities say at least 14 people died in the flooding that started Wednesday. At least 5 others are missing.
Well, that weather system that was bringing us rain later today brought at least 1 confirmed tornado to Texas and left some serious damage. This video shows what a car dealership in Irving near Dallas looked like after the storm came through yesterday. The facade of the building came crashing down during the high winds. The storm also damaged the building's roof and at least 1 car in the parking lot. No one was reported hurt. Well, that storm also brought large hail down across North Texas. This video from Fourth Ward shows golf ball-sized hail pelting cars and piling up on the ground. Once the hail stopped falling from the sky, people were able to go out and pick it up, giving us a better idea of just how big some of those hailstones were. Well, flooding that has caused a lot of damage in California could be extended into the spring. Forecasters with NOAA released their spring outlook yesterday. They say major flooding could continue through the spring in California from storms and melting snow. The forecast also shows the flood risk is also high along the Mississippi River from Minneapolis to St. Louis. Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico could be in for an extreme drought as well. As for us, we could see higher than normal temperatures through the spring.
Your summer travel plans to Florida may include something smelly to watch out for on the beach. Researchers say one of the biggest and smelliest masses of seaweed ever recorded in the Atlantic could hit Florida beaches in July. They are watching a 5,000-mile wide blob of sargassum spanning from the coast of Africa to the Gulf of Mexico. They say these seaweed blooms happen every year, but ecological factors affect how big and widespread they are.
Well, a seed that can bury itself in soil is inspiring scientists to develop a new device, one that allows other seeds to plant themselves.
Anita Vogel shows us how this could affect the future of farming.
Sometimes nature can seem like magic, and the erodium plant is a prime example. Its seeds are packaged inside thin stalks that unwind when exposed to water, drilling the seed into the ground.
This way, the seed can protect itself from harsh environmental conditions, for example, strong sunlight, wind, or birds.
The Erodium's Disappearing Act inspired scientists at Carnegie Mellon University who've developed a system to help other types of seeds bury themselves.
We're able to carry agriculture seeds, pine seeds.
Made from white oak, scientists crafted 3-tailed seed carriers. Like the erodium stalk, the strips of white oak also react to water. unraveling and pushing the seeds into the soil. And because it's stiff, the white oak is perfect for helping seeds penetrate harder terrain. It's also biodegradable, meaning there's no pollution. Using drones, the seed carriers can be dropped over fields and areas impacted by wildfires, speeding up farming and reforestation projects.
That was Anita Vogel reporting.
Welcome back at 1244. You're looking live at Lake Gaston. Even though it's cloudy up there, a day on the lake is always a beautiful day in my book. We always thank you for watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Researchers at Indiana University School of Medicine have developed a new blood test for anxiety. The test helps doctors identify molecules in a patient's blood that can help determine their risk of developing the condition. Medical teams can use the test to gauge the severity of a patient's current anxiety and measure if their symptoms are worsening over time. Researchers say mental health experts will have an easier time prescribing customized therapies and treatments.
Removing harmful carbon emissions from the air is one of the fastest growing remedies for global warming. But what do you do with all that captured carbon? Diana Olick explains one sparkling solution.
Lab-grown diamonds are becoming big business, forecast to reach $50 billion globally by 2030. Names like WD, Clean Origin, Vibranium, and a startup called Ether, which takes diamond sustainability to a new level.
Every ether diamond that has been grown until now has been from carbon that was captured through a direct air capture process in the Swiss Alps.
Shearman says this makes them even greener than the competition. It also makes them pricier than other lab-grown diamonds, but less so than mined stones. He describes Ether's proprietary process as follows. Captured carbon is converted to what they call atmospheric methane. That is then injected into a chemical vapor reactor, and over the course of about 4 weeks, the diamond grows, atom by atom.
So at the end, we're left with something that is unparalleled in its environmental footprint and meets the strictest requirements for cut clarity, color, and carat weight for even the world's top luxury brands.
Ether's diamonds are certified by the International Gemological Institute. The company is currently using carbon purchased from Climeworks, a carbon capture firm that operates this plant in Switzerland, but says they are now pursuing carbon sources in large cities like Paris and New York, a strategy particularly enticing to investors.
Imagine you're proposed to in Milan, and in the future, the ability to actually take the air out of the Milanese air that day and then putting that on your ring finger.
In addition to Helena, Ether is backed by Trirec, Soundwaves, Khosla Ventures, and Social Impact Capital. Total funding, $18 million.
That was Diana Olick reporting. Ether's CEO says the company is now expanding beyond diamonds to produce industrial materials like carbon black, graphite, and graphene from atmospheric carbon.
They've also shifted the diamond business from direct to consumer to business to business.
Leave a comment and share this video with your friends. With daily uploads, there will always be a conversation.